So Wednesday morning, I have 7 orders to ship out. First thing is these sweatshirts right here. I put them in C52, but this is the overflow. These are Carhartt, just like the other ones you guys have been seeing me sell, except these are gray instead of navy. But these are also 2XL, part of the embroidery deal I'm doing with my buddy. A lot of dead stock he has that I've been selling for him, and we're just splitting the money. This sold for $29.99, free shipping. Next thing, we're going to C32. This is a shirt that I bought at Goodwill close to 2 years ago. I've had this thing for quite some time, and at the time I thought it was going to be a fantastic buy. It's new with tags. It is a National Park collection from this brand Cremu. I don't know what the pronunciation is there, but yeah, this thing's pretty cool. It's got a great look to it. I don't think it's quite Aztec, but it, you know, maybe Aztec adjacent print. I'm really bad with clothing, so I don't always know what these prints are. But I paid $7 for this, and I was thinking I was going to get about 30 to 35, but it just did not happen. This thing sat forever. I lowered the price a little bit. I sent offers. I was doing everything to get this thing moving, and it just didn't happen. Yesterday, somebody sent me a best offer of $15 free shipping, and I'm like, let's just get this thing gone and be done with it. And after fees and everything, I'm going to lose $1 or $2. So not the best buy there. All right, I'm going to C51 next. This was a good buy. I just bought this last weekend. This is a cigarette racing team sweatshirt. I paid $2 for it, and I thought it was some kind of Marlboro promotional thing, because back in the 90s you could get all kinds of Marlboro swag by turning in, you know, points off of packs and cartons and things. But my dad educated me that this is actually a type of boat, a cigarette boat. I had no idea. Took a best offer on this one as well for $47.21, free shipping. Seems like everything is in C boxes today. We're going to C41 next. This is a controller for Super Nintendo. 9-year-old me's mind would have been blown with this kind of controller. I just always had the standard Super Nintendo controllers. I'm like, well, you put a screen on this? That's crazy. This is part of that bulk video game buy. This sold for $24.99, free shipping. Next sale is a cool one. So I got these 2 big giant wall murals, gosh, maybe 6 months ago. I paid $5 each for them. Let me move this one because this isn't the one that sold. The one that sold is the Earth. This is made in Germany by a company called Komar, and I think this is from the 80s or 90s. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit worried that when the buyer gets this and tries to put it on the wall, you know, the stickiness is gone and there's some kind of problem, because it's just been sitting for decades sealed up in this tube. But maybe it'll still work. I don't know. Fingers crossed. Paid $5 for it, and it sold for $69.99, free shipping. All right, we're going to D22 next, and it's another Carhartt sweatshirt. This is the navy one. Only got a few of these left. They've been selling pretty quick, and it's sold for $29.99, free shipping. Last thing we're pulling today is a video game system. This Sega Master right here. Let me move my Minecraft and Barbie dream bed. I've had to move this Barbie dream bed more times than I'd like. There's the clock that got returned, but I'm hopeful it'll sell again soon. This is a Sega Master System in box. Had all of the, the Sega base system. It is the Master System. It's just, you know, this particular bundle just had the base and it didn't have a bunch of other stuff. This also didn't have the game that originally came with it. Took a best offer on this of $201, free shipping. Last week I showed you guys this cart that I bought, and I went ahead and adjusted the shelves. They were all kind of like jammed up at the top, but I wanted to space them out. And it is working exactly how I wanted it to. I've got everything packed up, and I'll just roll it into my office now, print the labels. And I really wish I had more outlets in here. In the warehouse portion, there's like 1 power outlet, and it's not at a good spot. So, it is what it is. I still like having my laptop in the office and then doing a little bit of extra work rolling these in there, getting the labels on them. It's Thursday morning. I have 6 orders to ship out, but before I do, I want to point something out to you guys. I just pulled this box because I'm doing some listing this morning and I wanted to put my new listings in this box, and I found this old pair of Hey Dudes. I don't think I've seen these for over a year. I'm pretty sure I got them at a garage sale and I must have listed them, and I went and checked to see how much I had them listed for because I'm thinking, well, maybe I could discount them or something, and I couldn't find them. I couldn't find them in my active listings. I couldn't find them in my orders, and I think it's just time to purge these things. Maybe what happened is that they sold and the order got canceled and just never got relisted, but I'm looking at these things and they are pretty beat. I don't know why I bought these to begin with. You can see the tread on the back here is pretty much gone. They're very dirty, and they probably only would have sold for like $15 or $20 free shipping anyways. So I'm just gonna purge these, donate them. And I'm bringing this up because I think it's very important for all eBay sellers to do this. And by this, I mean regularly take inventory of the items that you have. Not just the items that you have listed, but what you have in stock. When I first started selling on eBay, I didn't have an inventory system where I would, have a specific spot for each thing, like A31, A32, whatever. I didn't have that system. I just put everything on a shelf, and whenever something sold, I went and dug through and found it most of the time, but I would lose things all the time. Not only would I lose things, but I would have no way of knowing what was actually listed or not listed. So if I went through and, did inventory, I would have to look at every single item to actually check and see. And now I can see like, oh, okay, I've got the boxes in place. I know what's what, and it's just easier and quicker to do inventory now. Personally, I like to do inventory once a year, and I do it in February because I want to get through Q4, because it seems like every year things that have just been sitting in my store seem to sell in Q4. So I want to get through Q4, let everything sell, and then a little bit of the spillover into January. Seems like there's always some Q4 spillover. So come February 1st every year, I do an inventory. The way I do it is I go through every box and just make sure that the item is listed or accounted for. And sometimes if it's sat the whole year, if it's sat 2 years, and I've been lowering the price and sending offers, I'll just end the item and I'll just donate it and purge it. eBay has admitted that items that stay in your store for a significant amount of time will hurt the algorithm of your other item sales. They don't want stale inventory. I don't know what those numbers are. I don't pretend to be an expert that knows the algorithm. I don't think anybody really knows the algorithm. But I know generally speaking, they don't want a lot of stale inventory, and I don't like a lot of stale inventory. So that's just what I personally do. I don't think there has to be a certain rule in place for when you purge old inventory. Some people just never purge it, and that's fine. But I do think it's good to at least do some kind of inventory setup or system to where you're regularly checking what you have. Otherwise, you might just have a ton of stuff that's not listed or accounted for or whatever. So that could be quarterly, that could be semi-annual, that could be yearly, whatever. I do think it's important to do some kind of inventory as an eBay seller. All right, let's pack some orders. First thing that's sold is this pair of Cocopelli wall hangers. These are metal. I got them at a garage sale earlier this summer. It's probably been about 4 months if I had to guess. I only had to pay $3 for the pair, and they sold for $39.99 free shipping. Next is a combo unit. Let's see, right here, it is a Magnavox, and Magnavox combo units seem to sell really fast for me, and they always sell for pretty good money. This one didn't have the remote. I just picked it up last weekend for $5. I added the AV cable. I always do that just because it helps them sell faster. It had, some cosmetic issues, as you can see, so I put that in the listing. I took a bunch of pictures, but it still sold pretty quick. $69.99 free shipping. Next thing is over here, an A42. I have to move some things out of the way. This is the box I was working out of yesterday. I just piled some clothes on top of the MacBook that sold. I just got this last weekend, and honestly, this was a bad buy. I would have thought it was worth more, but it had problems with it. Something's wrong with the operating system, like it was flashing error messages and everything. And I'm not so much of a tech guy that I can put a whole new operating system in it. I'm digging around because I know there is a charger, but I can't seem to find it. There it is. Anyways, I paid 20 bucks, and these, if they're fully working, they were going for like $50 free ship. I mean, there was dozens of examples of that being the going rate. So I'm like, I don't know what I can get for it. So I listed it for $40 free ship, and it sold. After fees and shipping, I might make $5. But yeah, all in all, not a good buy. All right, we're going to B42 next. I've had this listed for quite some time. This is a bottle of perfume, DKNY. If I can find it, that is. I think it's somewhere down in here. Here we go. This is part of that big perfume buy I made about 7 months ago. And I listed it within the first month of doing the buy. And I never had any offers. Nobody was biting on the offers I was sending until yesterday. Somebody sent me an offer of $60 free shipping, and I accepted. Okay, next order has 2 sweatshirts. They're both double XL. First is in D22 right here, and now I've only got one more double XL of the navy, and then the same buyer got one out of C52 right over here. Although these are the spillover, I'm pretty sure. The gray 2XL. Yeah. So the pair sold for $59.98 free shipping. Last thing's in C41. It is a VHS tape. If I can find it. It seems to be the theme of the day. Digging around and looking for stuff in these boxes because they're so full, which is good. I want full boxes for Q4. Yeah, this is it. Hellraiser VHS tape. I got this at a garage sale, I think it's been 2 weeks ago now, and I only had to pay $1 for it. Had it listed for $50 or best offer. Somebody sent an offer of $41.33 free shipping, and I accepted. It's Friday morning. I got 9 orders to ship out, and we're going to B52 first. Pretty sure I sold more than one thing out of here. I know the first thing I sold is 2 tiny little bottles of this perfume. There's only 2 milliliters. This is Laura Biagiotti. I'm sure I'm butchering this name. Yeah, 2 milliliters. There's 2 boxes of them. Same buyer bottom, and this is from that bulk perfume buy, so I've got very little into these. The pair sold for $39.98 free shipping. And in the same box, I sold this little bottle of Givenchy Organza. This is 5 milliliters. This one I took a best offer of $22 free shipping. We'll put this box back, and the next thing we are shipping is in, I think it's in D61 maybe? Let me double check. Yeah, D61. This is a Nina Ricci. Decidella. I know I'm butchering all these. This is another tester bottle. This one's a little bigger though. This is 50 milliliters, 1.7 ounces. Also from the perfume buy, and this one sold for $37 free shipping. I sold a bunch of sweatshirts. First thing I sold is, let's see, a large from A32, the gray one. I listed a bunch yesterday, so naturally I knew they would be selling. This one sold for $29.99 free shipping. And then the next is, let's see, another one from A32. Different buyer, same price. $29.99 free shipping. And then we're going over to D22. Sold a navy one, and I think this is my last navy in this size. Yeah, this one is 2XL, sold for $29.99 free shipping. Then I sold a 3XL in D52. Not the navy though, this is a gray that sold. And that brought, guess what? $29.99 free shipping. Next thing is a pair of bowls that I've had for quite some time. Let's see, these are in B41, and they're McCoy pottery bowls. I'm pretty sure it's these right here. Yeah, let's see here. We have a pink and a blue. McCoy Pottery, USA, and they have this really neat speckled print to them. I got these a long time ago. I've had these for quite some time. I paid $5 for the pair, and I thought they were going to bring around 40 or 50, and I sent out offers, and I just never got any offers or looks or any attention to these, and somebody finally sent me an offer of $30 free shipping, and I accepted. Stay tuned, and I'll show you how I'm going to pack these. Last thing going out is a Lego. It is Minecraft. Once again, we're moving the Barbie dream bed. I think I've moved this thing 6 or 7 times, and it just does not want to sell. It'll sell eventually. This one right here is what I sold. The Minecraft, let me double check the number, 21246. Yeah, this is the one. Factory sealed. I got this at a garage sale last weekend. I paid, what did I pay for this one? I think I paid 15, because this one was 15 and some of the other ones I think were 5. Maybe it was 10. I don't know. I got a bunch of sealed Lego for 35 total. I know that. This one sold for $79.99 for shipping. All right, let's pack these bowls. What I'm going to do is put packing paper inside each of them, and that's going to help absorb any like shock or anything like that. Then we're going to bubble wrap each one. Now, I could nest these, put one inside the other to save space, but I don't like to do that. I don't think they're going to be as protected that way. So we're just going to bubble wrap them separately. All right, we've got them bubble wrapped, and now what we're going to do is use some scrap cardboard, and this is going to be how we're going to create a double box situation. So I'm going to wrap this one around like this. All right, we got this one good to go. That one's good to go, and we're going to put these two inside a box with some packing paper. I think this box might do the trick. Let's see. Yeah, this is going to work. Obviously, there's a lot of space here. So what I'm going to do is take a bunch of packing paper, fill in the top, and I left the bottom open. I haven't taped up the bottom yet. So once I put a bunch of packing paper on top and the sides, I'll tape the top, and then I'll flip it over and fill in the bottom. All right, we got the packing paper on the top, and I just kind of push this down to add some more space, and we're going to fill all that with packing paper. What you want to do anytime you're packing something like this where there's going to be space in there and you're wanting to fill it with packing paper or bubble wrap or whatever you're using to fill it, once you've got it packed, give it a shake test. And if you can hear it moving around in there or feel it moving around, then you need more packing paper, or you need something else in there so that it doesn't move. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, isn't he going to a lot of trouble and using a lot of packing supplies and materials to pack an item that he's maybe going to make $5 or $10 on? You are absolutely right that I am. And I really don't look at it as, oh, I'm not making much money on this item, so I'm not going to invest a lot of time and energy and, you know, supplies and whatever to ship it. I more view it as I take pride in what I do, and I take pride in my reputation as a seller. So even if I'm losing money on a deal, I'm going to pack it the right way. I'm going to make sure that it gets to the buyer safely. I really don't like to look at the micro in my business. I don't like to see, oh, I lost on this one and I lost on that one, or I made it up on this one. I look at it as a whole. I know I'm making money as a whole in my business, and whenever something like this happens with the McCoy bowls, I just tuck it away in the back of my mind, and I remember, okay, these probably aren't going to bring as much as I think they are, so that when I see them again at a thrift store or garage sale or wherever, I'm probably not going to pay as much for them, or maybe not pick them up at all. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.